Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel SK Tech. In today's video, we are going to see lambda expression. So this is one of the feature introduced in Java 8, and here we are going to see what are lambda expressions, how to create the lambda expression, what is the syntax of the lambda expression, what are the functional interfaces, benefit of using the lambda expression, and Java lambda expression example. So there is a correlation between the functional interface and lambda expression. We will see how this is two related. Okay. Now let's begin and see what is lambda expression. So as the name suggests, lambda expression is going to be some sort of expression only. So basically it is going to be some short block of code which takes some parameters and returns some value. So lambda expression is simply a function without a name. So we have already familiar with the function without the name, right? Something like anonymous. But lambda expression is not the anonymous. It is quite different but similar to that. It can even be used as a parameter in the function, but the anonymous function we cannot pass as an argument in any kinds of the function, right? So there are some advantages of using the lambda expression over the existing anonymous class, right? We will see what are the differences and what are the benefits using the lambda expression. Okay. Lambda expression also facilitate the functional programming and simplify the development a lot. It means that lambda expression is going to enable the functional types of the programming in Java. So basically we know that functional programming is not supported till Java 7, because functional programming means we need to write some functions and directly we can perform the operations. But in Java, everything should be encapsulated inside the class. It means if you want to develop any functionality, you need to create the class, you need to write some parameters, you need to write some functionality in terms of the functions, and then you need to create the object and call it. But lambda expression is going to provide some functional programming similar to the C and C++. We will see how. Okay. Now let's see what are the syntax, how the lambda expression looks like. So basically lambda expression will be look like this. There will be a parameter inside the braces, and then there will be an arrow and then expression, or you can say there would be some statement. We have seen these similar things, right? In anonymous case, we know that anonymous class means it will be block of code, or you can say piece of code without any name. Similar to that, lambda expression also is going to be look like. So it will be having some parameters inside the braces, then arrow and then statement. So it means the syntax of the lambda expression is categorized by the three parts. So first part is like parameter. So what is this parameter? Here like lambda expression can be have a 0 or more parameter enclosed in the parenthesis. So similar to that, like how we pass as an argument inside the methods. Second one would be like arrow, these arrow tokens. So this arrow token, what it is going to do, basically this arrow tokens separate the parentheses from the body of the lambda. So this is called body of the lambda. This is called parameter where we are going to pass as an argument, right? And this is the separation between the parentheses and statement, you can say body of the lambda. So next part is like body. So body means the body of the lambda contains expressions or statement describing the method's functionality. Similar to that, how we create the function. So we need to give some name, then parenthesis, right? And here we need to provide the argument, and then inside the curly braces we need to write some logics about the functions. Similar to that, this you just consider like something like body of the lambda. So if you see, this is what we have discussed. So this is what it is going to be look like. Parameters inside the here, and then arrows, and third one is like expression, or you can say piece of code that is going to perform by this lambda. We will see what is the use cases, how we can define it, how we can use it. In the first phase, you might feel like this is quite complex, but believe me, once you familiar with this syntax, right, you will feel like this is the easiest way to do, to perform any operation in a very quick, or you can say concise way. Now let's see some different types of the lambda expression. Like we have seen the parenthesis right here. So here parenthesis in the sense what we are saying, like inside this parenthesis it should be the parameters. So inside that parameters, it can be a different types. So first one is like zero parameter. So let's say we have a lambda expression, or you can say the function without name, which does not have any argument. So that would be look like this. So we need to provide this parenthesis because that is the syntax of the lambda. But here let's say we don't have any argument. In those kinds of scenario, we need to provide empty here. So then array, and then here we need to provide the body of the lambda. And again here there's two things. Body of the lambda in the sense when there is a one statement, let's say there is a one statement system.out.println and some statement, then we no need to provide the curly braces also. But as per the syntax we have seen, it's required like some parenthesis or curly braces, right? But in case of the simple statement inside the body, we no need to provide any curly braces. Similar to the if block, if we don't have multiple statement inside the if block, Java allowed to not to provide the curly braces. Similar to that, inside the lambda also, this is the body of the lambda. If you have one single statement, or you can say simple one expression piece of code, then we no need to provide any curly braces. Second is like this. So this piece of code can be written like this also. So let's say one parameter. So in case of the one parameter, there is two things again. What is that? First is like this braces, right? This braces is required if it is having a more than one argument or zero argument. But in case of the single argument, you no need to provide again this braces, something like this. So let's say we have one argument, let's say yes, okay, and this as per the syntax, then arrow, and then one statement. Since it is having one statement, then we no need to provide this curly braces. So you can see that in a very simple format, we are able to write this program, right? Like if you want to write any function, you need to provide so many things. Like you need to provide return types, you need to provide the name of the function, you need to provide the argument, again the argument, then you need to provide the data type, like which types of the data it is going to hold. Then you need to provide curly braces starting and ending, and then you need to provide the logic of that. But if you have a function with one argument and with one simple statement, you can replace with this lambda with this statement. Like this is an argument, then arrow, then one the statement. Okay, and again here you no need to provide the semicolon also. So just we will go one by one. Once you familiarize with this all this concept, or you can say all these syntaxes, then you will be feel like okay, it is a very easy, in a very small piece of code we are able to write the big functionality. And similar to the one parameter, if we let's say we have a multiple parameter, then we need to provide like this. So how it is providing here? So we need to provide int x, int y, let's say 2 parameter, then arrow, and then let's say we have a simple expression like x plus y. So since this is a single statement, we no need to provide the curly braces. But here if you see, we are providing like two arguments. So if we are providing two argument, then we need to provide this argument inside the braces. Okay. Similar to the curly braces, let's say we have one function which is going to perform some operation and also it is going to return something. Okay. So what we need to do in our simple function programming, we need to provide an argument. So in case of the lambda, we no need to provide, that is the optional, this braces. So no need to provide the braces, then we need to provide this arrow. Okay, and then let's say some statement is here which is going to perform some operation and going to return it. So in case of single statement, or you can say simple return type, we no need to provide the return keyword also. Java is going to automatically take care. Let's say we have a two argument, then we need to provide inside the braces. Again the data type is also optional, we no need to provide the data type. Java is going to automatically detect, then arrow, and then inside the curly braces we need to write the return a plus b some statement. So this curly braces is required when we have a multiple statement inside the braces. And since it is having a multiple statement inside this curly braces, then we need to write the return statement also similar to the any function. So these are some different types of the lambda expression, like 0 parameter, 1 parameter, multiple parameter. And there are something like optional, like this braces can be optional in some kinds of scenario, this curly braces can be optional in some kinds of scenario, this return types is optional in some kinds of scenario. Okay, so just try to familiarize with this all these syntaxes, then it will be more easy for you to learn the Java 8 functionality. And here one important point is like how Java is able to identify what types of the data that we are passing it here, what is the return type, how it is going to return, why we need to not to provide any data type like int x or int y, how Java is going to identify. So basically Lambda expression is going to use the functional interface internally, and using those functional interfaces only Java is going to identify all this information. So that's why in the initial discussion I have mentioned like there is a correlation between the Lambda expression and functional interface. Now the question comes like what is functional interfaces? So basically a functional interface is nothing but an interface that has only one abstract method is called a functional interface. So we have already familiar with what is interfaces, right? So interfaces means it can contain only the abstract method, but it can contain the multiple abstract method. But in case of the functional interface, it can contain only one abstract method. Okay, now the question is like how Java is going to identify any interface is a functional interface or non-functional interface. So functional interface means if an interface is having exactly one abstract method, then Java is going to treat it like it's a functional interface. But Java also provide one annotation that is going to force to the user to not to define multiple abstract method. That annotation is called as @functional interface. So if you define any interface and you just tag with this @functional interface, then it is going to allow only one abstract method as per the functional interface definition. And if you try to define multiple abstract method inside the functional interface, it is going to throw some compile time error. We will see in detail in case of in the discussion of the functional interface in the next upcoming video. At the high level, just you need to know functional interface is the interface which is having exactly one abstract method, and that is going to be used by the Lambda expression to identify the name of the function, argument of the function, type of the argument passed inside the function, and return types of the function. Like we have seen in our previous slide, like we no need to provide any argument type or return type or braces. So how Java is going to identify what types of the data that you are expecting? So that definition is going to be written inside the functional interface. We will see how. Okay, so this is what I was talking about. Lambda expression provides an implementation of the functional interface. So basically an interface which is called functional interface, which have only one abstract method, and implementation of that abstract method is going to be done by the Lambda expression. We will see with the help of the example, then it will be more useful. Just for the theory part, just to understand like what is the functional interfaces and how it is going to be used by the Lambda expression. What is the functional interfaces? What is the Lambda expression? We will see what is the relation between them. Okay. Now here one question comes arise like, is the functional interfaces is the new? Is there any existing interfaces which have exactly one abstract method? Can we call those interfaces as a functional interface? The answer is yes. There is already a couple of interfaces available inside the Java before Java 8 also, which contain exactly one abstract method. Like runnable, we know that there is a method called run, callable, call method, comparator, compare to method, right, compare method. Like that, there are so many interfaces already available which have exactly one abstract method. So those interfaces also can be used as a functional interface, because functional interface definition says that an interface is called as functional interface which have exactly one abstract method. So if we want to use existing interfaces available inside the Java as a functional interface as part of the implementation as a Lambda expression, then we will be able to use it. We will see with some couple of the example also how we can provide the implementation of these interfaces before Lambda expression and after Lambda expression. Okay. Now the next theory concept about the Lambda expression is like, what is the benefit of using the lambda expression. Before going to the practical session, let's try to understand what is the some benefits of using the lambda expression. So first benefit is like conciseness. What do you mean by conciseness? So because they allow for a more concise way of expressing the instance of a single method interface, that is nothing but the functional interface. Means if your interface have exactly one abstract method, so instead of going to define the class and going to provide the implementation, lambda expression is going to write the implementation of that abstract method in a single statement. And we have already seen some syntaxes also. We will see with the help of the example, then it will be more clear. Next benefit of using the lambda expression is like functional programming. So before Java 8, Java does not allow to perform the operation in a functional programming way. But using the lambda expression, it is going to provide the functional styles of programming with the help of the implementation of functional interface. Now, if the interface have only one abstract method, we no need to create any class to provide the implementation of that abstract method. Instead of that, using the lambda expression, we will be able to provide the implementation at the one line itself. Okay. Next benefit of using the lambda expression is like improved readability. So instead of going through all these texts in a simple format, we will be able to write it in a very readable format, especially when we are using the functional interface. Next benefit is like flexibility. So basically they can be used whenever a function interface is expected. So basically whenever we have an interface which have exactly one interface, either it is the existing interface like we have seen runnable, callable, comparator, or if we have created any interface which exactly have one abstract method. So instead of writing the classes and providing the implementation, we can use the lambda expression to provide that implementation. Okay. Next advantage of using the lambda expression is like interoperability with the stream. Interoperability with the stream. So basically they work seamlessly with the stream API. So there is another feature introduced by the Java 8, that is nothing but the stream API, and that this stream API is nothing but it's going to be provide like very powerful and expensive data processing. So whatever the operation that we are able to perform using the collection API, those all functionality along with that multiple built-in functionality provided by the Java as part of the stream API, we will see in detail as part of the stream discussion. Okay, so these are some couple of the benefit of using the lambda expression. Now let's try to understand some use cases of the lambda expression where we can use it. So one case we have already seen, like wherever the functional interface, or you can say any interface exactly having one abstract method, we can use the lambda expression. So basically lambda expressions are often used with the functional interface, and that functional interface is available inside the java.util.function package. So it is also a utility function. Okay. We have already seen some of the interfaces already available which have exactly one interface, and those can be also used as a functional interface, and those implementation of those interfaces can also be provided by the lambda. Along with that, Java also introduced some kinds of the different functional interfaces also, that is called built-in functional interfaces, that is like predicate, function, consumer and supplier. There are many more, but these are some couple of the important functional interfaces has been introduced by the Java as part of the Java 8, and these all interfaces having exactly one abstract method, and for all these interfaces having different functionality similar to the existing, like runnable, callable, it is used as part of the multi-threading. Comparator, it is used for sorting some collections, right? Similar to that, these are interfaces provided by the Java is going to provide different kinds of the functionality. We will see with the help of the example also what are those functionality. Okay. Next thing is like they are also very commonly used with the stream API. That's what we are talking about. So stream API means are going to be allow for powerful and extensive data processing. So what are the data processing that we are doing with the help of the collection API? Those all operations we will be able to do using this stream API. Okay. So this is what, let's say, some functionality like filtering, mapping and reducing. These all functionality we will be able to do with the help of the Stream API, and we will see what are the advantages of using the Stream API and without using the Stream API. Okay, so these are some couple of the use cases where we can use the Lambda expression. So these are about the theory concept about the Lambda expression. Now we will see with the help of some example. So first example, we are going to see like how to create the Lambda expression with the no parameter, with the single parameter, with the multiple parameter, and also with the multiple statement. Then we are going to create Lambda expression with the creating the thread, like we have seen existing interfaces, right, which have exactly one abstract method, and that is nothing but the runnable interface which is having run method. That is also we are going to see how we can provide the implementation using the Lambda expression. It means we no need to create any class or implement it, then do the implementation, and then while using it no need to create any object and call it, right. Those are boilerplate code. We are going to remove it and we are going to use simple Lambda expression, and we will see how we can do it. Next we are going to perform like comparator. So this is again a existing interface which is having exactly one abstract method. Then we are going to see the iterate array list with for each method plus Lambda expression. We are going to see how this Lambda expression is going to help with this case also. Okay, then we are going to see iterate hash set with the for each method plus Lambda expression example similar to that. So basically this is part of the list interface, then this is part of the set interface, and this is part of the map interface. So we are going to see how to iterate it using the for each method with the help of the Lambda. Okay, so these are the example that we are going to see in next upcoming video. So stay tuned, we'll meet you soon. Thank you.